Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show. Welcome to the Nuff Said podcast. We are talking Agent Carter, Season 1, Episode 6, A Sin to Air. Or is it It's air. I am one of your hosts. I am relieved, Rob Southgate. With me is...
I am Jingly Jack Wendrowski.
Yes, you are. And...
and I am the amazing Alil.
Yeah, you are. So I'm relieved and you're amazing because of one particular story this week, which we will touch on. Our normal rabbit hole we are not falling in tonight, boys.
No.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with the touch thing.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with your rabbit hole. So, yeah.
Hey-oh.
It all happened this week.
Alil just got that. It was a little delay there.
A little delay. This was the big week. I mean, Alil and I were just talking about it offline. That everyone's thinking, oh God, Spider-Man is in the MCU. Well, yes and no. I actually feel a little bit stronger on the positive side of it than I think you do, Alil. Is that right?
No, I'm positive about it, but I don't want everybody to get
to think they're going to go into Civil War and see Spider-Man flying around by that movie already, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he will be in Civil War. They've kind of already established that. How big of a role? It might be pretty minor. I'm going to say that they're going to keep with the storyline that they've got going and kind of splice in some Spider-Man and then maybe work him down the road because it's still all Sony. There was not $1 exchange between the two studios. It was basically, you can play with Spider-Man if you help us fix Spider-Man.
Right.
And so Kevin Feige and all the guys at Marvel, they're going to work on the Spider-Man movie, the new one that's going to be coming out in 2017. They don't get $1. They don't get a profit. They don't get a percentage. They get nothing. They don't get a quarter for the work they're going to do in that. Their payment is, hey, you can use Spider-Man in Civil War. You can use Spider-Man in Infinity War. You can throw him in this and that. And I'm just curious at how the contract that they sign, whoever is going to play Spider-Man, is going to have to be a massive long-term combined deal because he's going to have to get paid by both studios.
Well, it's just like Ben Affleck signing to be Batman. He had to sign a massive deal for Batman to be in these little projects. Forget studio to studio. He's like in a ton of things. That's what they have to do. Whoever gets Spider-Man, I'm sure that's why they're going younger because an older guy is going to go, yeah, man, you're going to get like 4 movies out of me and we're going to renegotiate big time.
Right.
These younger guys are like, oh God, I got the part of Spider-Man. I'll take it. And, talk to me 10 years from now, they're going to be wishing they had gone for double the price per movie or something.
Yeah. Or they go to Civil War and they kill off Spider-Man. So there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what just happened?
Sony's crying.
Why did
Marvel's
we do
like,
this?
ha ha.
Yeah. What are you going to do now? He's dead.
Now, what about... Oh, it's a clone that they killed. That's how they'll fix it. So what about the toy deal? I mean, who owns the rights to the toys?
Marvel always has.
So that's what they're really doing. That's why they did this, man.
They're completing the set.
Yeah, they're going to cash in because let's face it, the toy industry and the marketing, blitz that they're going to do, they're going to make a fortune off of that.
But Rob, what do you know about Marvel toys, really?
And they don't have to pay to market the movie. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's it.
Sony flips all the checks. They're signing everything.
So it'd be like, okay, George Lucas, I got this idea for Star Wars. You are going to make this great movie. I'm going to retain all the toy rights, but I'll advise you. Hey, that sounds like a good deal, right?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Not for George Lucas, which is what he did to the movie studios. So yeah, this is actually a great move, I think, for everybody, because I think that the path Sony was going down, Spider-Man was going to be a to quote The Walking Dead, tainted meat for them. And
I love that band.
tainted meat. But that's my Walking Dead tribute band, Tainted Meat. I think this is good for both parties. It gives new life to the character for Sony. They can get some direction, so it's not just, who do we kill first and what do we do here? And, I'm excited for it. But I don't think it's what a lot of people are perceiving, which is, he's here and now they can do anything they want with him. No, not really. They don't own him.
Be honest, you're just waiting for the Spidey action figure to come out.
Oh, please. Who is it? I
own like 30 of them, so it won't do anything.
Here's what's going to happen to Alil. That whole thing of I can't buy a hot toy, guess what's going to break that?
Yeah. No, I was tempted with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 hot toy because it looked really good, but I'm waiting. There's going to be a definitive one, and that will be the one I get.
The Civil War Spidey is going to do it, I have a feeling.
Oh, man.
Followed by the black-suited Spidey.
You're going to take it home, and they're going to be like, I thought we talked about this. I said, but this is completely different.
We talked about the Sony Spidey, but
exactly. This is different.
Yeah. You've got to be real specific, right? So let's get into the show.
Show?
Yeah. So this is episode 6. We only have 2 more after this. And next week's, I'm jumping ahead, it looks like a transition episode again. It kind of looked to me like, okay, it's something to do before we get to the end. And I think the end is going to be amazing. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think it just sets up something else. They're going to send, I think Agent Carter's going to, she's going to get out of custody. I assure you, I'm doing this. She kind of goes undercover. She goes dark,
right.
And sets us up for the big showdown.
Right.
Yeah, and they set up what we talked about last week with the blood being the main MacGuffin, because that's what Dottie went after right there when the kiss happened,
and that's what was sitting on the desk when she was in there.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. That's the MacGuffin. And I'm glad it is. I think that's a good way to go.
Oh, and how about the fact that I'm sure everybody thought the showdown with Dottie and Peggy was going to be an all-out, knockdown, drag-out fight. And, kind of the setup was an episode or 2 ago where she picks up Peggy's lipstick and, hi, I'm Peggy Carter. And then she plants a kiss on her. It was like, I was freaking out. I was just sitting there like, they did not just do that.
We're sure you were freaking out about that. That's the first thing I thought. I wonder
how Jack's taking this.
Halle Berry was texting me left and right, just like, she's like, dude, did you see that? I was like, hell yeah, I was watching it. Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna shift gears on that a little bit, because when I read about the episode, headlines come up and it was talking about this kiss and it was making it seem like, okay, they went there. I was expecting something different. I actually think this was played so well. She is a Black Widow. That's what she was doing. She was using the lipstick. There was nothing like sexual about it. But online, it's like, oh, they had to go there because it's a female character. No, I didn't get that at all.
It was just interesting. It was a nice tie-in from lipstick.
It worked great. It didn't do anything more than that. I think that people are looking to poke holes in this because it's a female lead and because of the sexism that she's dealing with. Like, I think people are more focusing on that stuff when it's like, no, those are just real nice touches to what's going on.
Right.
They're building the world, but I just thought this played out great.
AKA, we very much enjoyed it.
Right. I also loved how Peggy figured out real quick about the we need to look at their wrists. And that whole sequence of them going around to the different women was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Well, and did you notice the transition now between her and Jarvis, where prior to this, Jarvis kind of said, okay, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. This is what Howard wants. And I think this is the first time where Peggy's really said, this is my show and, this is what we're doing. And he's actually now more the driver, the butler in the role than I think he has been previously.
Yeah, Peggy was definitely driving. That's for sure.
And, and what about the blood? Has anybody picked up on this, that the Russians and the blood and the Winter Soldier thing? Because I've heard a lot of speculation that Peggy actually, now that she's kind of jacked the blood from Howard and thinking, oh, this is what I need to do to protect the captain and keep his blood from the clutches of evil. But I think this is what's going to set up the whole Winter Soldier story.
Did we not talk about this last week? Jack, that was exactly what I said last week.
What was it you said?
Well, I'm trying to get it talked about. I'm not saying it wasn't said. I'm saying
yeah, no, you're just getting the conversation going about it.
I got it. I was just messing with you because you got Alzheimer's. But
wait, somebody out here was messing with another person? Really?
What?
That's so unlike us.
No, but I agree with you. I really do think this is how this is going to play out to a lot of things. And I know, we talked about what I brought it up last week with, how Winter Soldier's created. Maybe they use it for Crossbones. And I know Crossbones in the comics technically doesn't have any superpowers, but he to me kind of reminds me of the Bane of the Marvel universe. So
sure.
Giving him a little bit of the Cap juice wouldn't to me change or alter the character very much. But at least it would give us another foe that can kind of go toe to toe with Cap, rather than like we saw in the beginning of Winter Soldier when he fought Batroc. He was messing with him. Batroc really was not any competition for Cap.
Right.
I mean, he took him down real quick. So I think having some villains which Marvel does well. They have villains that are similar but opposite. Red Skull, Cap. Both of them. They do that well.
Yes.
And I think that maybe having this where the Russians are synthesizing this, they all collaborate with Hydra. It's all. Why am I drawing a blank on what they're called?
In here, Leviathan.
Yeah, Leviathan. That they somehow evolve into Hydra, into that branch of Hydra. I think that's kind of where this seems to be headed. I could be wrong. I mean,
and that opposite thing, I got lost in thought about that when you were talking about Red Skull and Cap and how they have that nice opposite. I think that the Dottie Peggy opposite is really great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was the right way to go, is have her be part of that Black Widow program. Because, I mean, yeah, so Black Widow's an Avenger, but she doesn't come from the good guys. That wasn't born out of the good guys.
Right.
So that's really a great twist on this. Did you guys, I got one going back to last week. The little girl that we debated about so much.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody tweeted and said they thought the same thing I did, that she shot the Russian guy. Did you guys go back and watch it?
I was watching it while we were recording, and yes, she did not. She shot.
How could you not remember?
I forgot.
You stupid twit.
God.
How dare you? I was watching it as we were recording, sir.
I did remember because I got.
Yes,
you did. Yeah, absolutely. You confirmed it right there.
Okay, so you're calling our listener wrong. That's fine.
You're wrong, but we love
wrong.
you anyway.
Right.
It's okay to be wrong, because I'm wrong 90% of the time.
And then there's a Lil, yes. Okay, so the other chatter that I've heard, though, is about the girl. They're saying that because they believe Black Widow has super soldier serum in her, that she was a plant there, and that she is actually going to turn out to be Black Widow. Because Black Widow isn't like, she's like Steve Rogers, where she'll age at a different rate. I don't know if I buy that. To me, that seems too far-fetched.
Yeah, well, it seems like the storyline that she and was it Archer or Hawkeye? I mean,
Archer. That's how you get ants, Jack.
That's right. But so Hawkeye. I mean, don't they have a previous? Don't they kind of come up a little together? Where I don't know. wouldn't that kind of preclude the history?
No, because she could be part of the Black Widow program and been a bad guy before that. Because she alluded to the fact that she had these run-ins with Winter Soldier back when she was with KGB.
Right, and she even the red on her ledger, the famous line in Avengers.
Right, there's a lot of red on your ledger.
Yeah. I mean, they could go there.
Yeah,
it's quite possible.
They could, but I don't buy it. I mean, I think that's a misstep. But watch, I mean, this is us. So 6 months from now, we'll be like, that was the greatest thing ever.
Well,
what do you think, Alil? Do you think that's right?
I don't know.
I don't think it's. I think that's kind of a cheap move, and I don't think Marvel makes the cheap moves.
No. Yeah, I don't think they do either.
It would be a long reach. It would be like a long reach tie-in to say that Black Widow was part of this original group, and that kind of explains.
Yeah, it's a little too everything's tied together in that way.
Right. And I don't think we have to have that in all the cases.
I think that we could have that girl resurface, but she's not Black Widow, but maybe that's how maybe she's what leads them to Black Widow eventually. That little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about somebody who's not going to be born for another 30 years.
Right. Well, right. I'm saying the little girl would be older by then, and maybe we get that story at some point. Maybe that's something they've just kind of laid in there and they're going to leave it go. Because I think at this point, I really do think that the way they're designing all this MCU stuff, that there's stuff we're seeing that like a kid playing. Well, I'll give you an example. How everyone was saying that the kid in Iron Man 3 is going to end up being the next Iron Man. Well, that's not going to happen. But that kid could resurface, but not in the next movie. I mean, we could be talking 15 years from now, 20 years from now. All of a sudden, that kid is a character. And they could have been laying some groundwork back in Iron Man 3 that, you could say, yeah, they had this groundwork and they decided, ooh, I know how to write this in. Or they could have actually been laying it in, which is what I think they're doing.
Well, another weird example is I saw read somebody online that said the little awkward kid just kind of staring at Jarvis, and Jarvis finally just gives him like a little coin just to get him away, and the kid smile. That would be the king.
The kingpin, because he was a big. You know what? That actually is pretty funny because he was a big load, and he just stared at him. And was he eating a sucker?
Yeah. He was just kind of sitting
there.
That
was the kingpin, guys.
It was like he unwittingly he
started off the kingpins.
That's fantastic.
That was the first nickel in his empire.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yeah. That was the kingpin. I know it was.
He learns how to extort right from Jarvis.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, that has to be, and what they have to do is in Daredevil, because we're going to see Kingpin, have him look at a picture of himself as a kid, and it be that kid. They don't have to say anything about, I met this Jarvis. Don't do any of that. Just have him look at the picture and we see that it's that same kid. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but that means the Kingpin's like 60 years old.
Well, he is.
He's not that old.
He could be any age at that point. Dude was like bald his entire career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, oh my God.
Kingpin's older, man.
I know he's older, but he's not that old.
What? You think 60 is that old? Michael Keaton is 63. Did you realize that?
Yeah, smarty pants.
And yeah, but he's not in the Batman suit.
Well, Kingpin's in the Fat Man suit. He's not in some ripped outfit.
Yeah, he's not like exerting his muscle. He's a crime boss, a super crime boss.
He's exhibiting. He's showing his one pack. I don't know what you're thinking.
All right, I'll give it to you guys.
I'm thinking he's older because I think 60 would be right on the money for that guy.
I think to a point. I'm sure that there are writers that are doing the math, but I don't think they may be doing it at any instance. But this would be just a fun little. I think it would be great. Time.
Yeah. I think it'd be great. I thought that's a hilarious idea that was the Kingpin that Jarvis started on his way.
That's hilarious. I wish that was my idea. I actually saw it, but it was like, man, I gotta say something about that because that was killing.
Yeah, that's really good. So Peggy is now officially outed, and I wasn't sure if our buddy with the leg. No. I wasn't sure if our buddy with the leg was going to actually, was going to either confront her head on or go the way he went. I thought it was going to be more of a personal thing. But
in the preview, they made it seem like he had her dead to rights, and this was it.
Yeah, well, it played out differently than I thought it would, and I thought it was pretty cool. And people that I was questioning, like their loyalty to SSR. I'm not questioning it as much. There's question marks about the guy with the leg. There are question marks about the other guy. Whether they're going to be some secret agent or something. I kind of don't think so.
Well, there's no question marks about the guy who got hit by a truck.
No, he's just shaped like a question mark now.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a problem with that, like the whole hypnotism thing where he's trying it on the chief, and it only doesn't work because the chief gets interrupted, and he tries it with the other agent that's just supposed to keep him off the floor.
Right.
And he starts talking to him, and he's doing his ring, and he does all this stuff. Now, with the hypnotism, you're not supposed to be able to get somebody to kill themselves, really.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you applying logic to this, Jack?
Well,
have you seen the 1977 Amazing Spider-Man TV movie? Come on. Manchurian Candidate, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't think we can compare that to the Manchurian Candidate, especially for somebody that was adding up the years for Kingpin.
Actually, Kingpin would actually be 80 years old if that is him.
Did you take your shoe off and do the math?
I did. This is 1945.
So he'd be 80.
Present is 70 years, and he's at least 10 years old in that.
So D'Onofrio is how old? Well, maybe it's Kingpin's dad. Maybe his dad is the one that got him into the crime thing and passes it on to his son.
Weren't we talking about hypnotism? How did we get back to Kingpin?
Because you were talking about the Eddie of King. But yes, let's go back to the hypnotism.
I'm going to say that's his dad. Okay, back to the hypnotism.
How easy it is to distract him.
So, Jack, you're thinking that it's illogical, but you know what? I think that the reason it worked, the reason he was able to get the guy to walk out in the street and all that, is he had so much time. You saw it started to kind of wear off, and he did more. And I think he just rooted his way in till he got to the point that I got this guy. He's a complete puppet.
Yeah, and I think it says testament to that, what you're saying, because he could have just told him, on the count of 3, just forget it. But it tells you what kind of guy this is, that he would use this guy, and just have a little experiment. Go enjoy. I want you to savor that drink.
Yeah.
I want you to go, and then, I want you to feel good about yourself. And then I want you to just take a stroll out and wham, it's done.
Yeah.
But he did that just to be mean. He didn't do that because he had to.
Oh, no, I think he had to.
I don't think he did. I think he did that. I think he eliminated that guy just because he could.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that he had to, because when the guy wakes up out of it, it's going to leave a question.
Right. I think I'm with you on there.
I think he was a loose end, and this guy was taking care of it. Once he got the information he needed, it's just like a hard drive where people think, oh, I erase everything on my hard drive, it's gone. No.
So you're saying it might come back. I mean, I see the loose end tie.
So kill the guy, be done with it. Nobody's going to be able to figure that one out in any way. There's
right.
And the fact that he walked out in front of a thing, it may be a little fishy, but who would ever think that a guy was sitting there hypnotizing him?
Well, that's why he had him have a drink. They can say that he was drunk and that's why he walked out in front of them.
Right. He had liquor on his breath.
How about the great scene where Dottie, I thought she was for sure there to kill the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And then you see her flashing the thing, and my first thought was, oh, he's going to see it because of the light. And I'm like, no, she's doing that. Oh, that was awesome.
Was that a psychiatrist, or are you talking the dentist?
The psychiatrist.
No, the psychiatrist. The part where they were communicating across the street. That's why she went to the dentist's office, because that was an open street for them to communicate.
Oh, right. I thought you...
And I don't like to talk about the dentist because I believe she may have put the drill in his eye.
Oh, most definitely.
That's the worst.
That's awesome.
After they go back for the shot, he's got blood dripping down from the eye socket.
He deserved it. That dentist deserved it, man. He was like, oh, are you going to work extra? I was like, was like, this is not a dating service. You're trying to get an assistant.
Yeah. Yeah,
besides
that, if I'm going to see that dentist, I want to make sure he washes his hands real thoroughly. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it'd be like that episode of Seinfeld.
I was just gonna say it's like the one with, and it was Breaking Bad. Was the dentist?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Are you the master of your own dentist?
Master of your dentistry. That's so funny.
We could do a whole new series. Wait a minute, a show about nothing.
Wait a minute, that sounds very familiar. We just say Marvel at the front of this, and then it becomes bum ba-dum bum bum. That was my Seinfeld theme.
I was gonna say that was terrible.
Yeah, you know what? I am. I have uromycetitis, and it's affecting my brain. There's another Seinfeld reference for you. Boom.
Hey, I thought you were quoting Law and Order there.
No. So, okay, what did we miss in this episode? I'm sure we missed quite a bit.
Well, one of the things I was going to say is, did you like how they mentioned the guy that walked in front of the truck? You figure they had like a whole half an episode about the agent getting shot, and somebody just made it, yeah, I think he walked in front of a truck.
Yeah.
And that was the epitaph for a hypnotized guy.
Right. That was it.
Agent down. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there was that. And then, it was back to things as usual.
I wish he had an actual red shirt on there. I think that would have been even better.
Yeah, I like the exchange. I like that whole exchange up in the office. You think Dottie's, she put all the rifle together to shoot, and next thing you know, they're communicating back and forth. And Peggy, she reveals herself to the waitress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up with the waitress, how she saved Peggy, and I thought that was really cool that she didn't die. You assumed she was kind of dead meat after the first episode.
Well, didn't we talk about that we thought she might be like Dottie, like she might be an agent of something also?
We did. It seemed pretty logical.
I'm definitely not thinking that right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then at the end, she'll be the first agent of S.W.O.R.D.
Oh!
Just throws you completely off.
Make it happen! That would be awesome.
I just like the house marm walking through, and they finally just put her in a room.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. It was, again, this was one of them that was a story mover, and it wasn't a transition episode. Like, this one actually moved things. Next one, I think, is transition. Next week, I think, we saw something blowing up there at the headquarters. That might be how the captain dies. Because I'm telling you, I think the captain's going to die and Bradley Whitford's going to become the new captain. I really do. I think that they're going to tie it together to that short somehow.
Yeah. So how do you think they're going to do that? Because
did I just say it? They're going to blow him up and kill him, and then it's going to get bad for Peggy because he's going to create an environment that is that. But that explains why there's all those guys are gone.
Well, did you say blow up Cap?
No, blow up their captain. They're the captain of the guy in charge.
Well, that's what I was saying. How are you going to do that if they already think he's dead?
They're going to find the iceberg and blow it up.
Just completely negate all the movies. No, man, he died actually in this time frame. What?
Surprise!
Brought to you by Fox Pictures.
How about the fact that they outed Peggy when she put 3 of the agents in the hospital, and they're still trying to do the woman bit, like, "Hey, lady, we've got you dead to rights," and trying to put on the cuffs. Do you really need to put on the handcuffs?
Yeah.
It's you put 3 of our guys in the hospital.
Right.
Yeah, Dame.
How about the fight scene with her? She, you know what? They need to have more of that because I love watching her fighting.
Oh yeah,
because it's not like superhero fighting; it's like James Bond fighting.
I liked it a couple episodes ago when she dropped from the top of that rail car and knocked 2 guys completely out.
Yeah,
right at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, they're really moving her along really fast, which is very cool.
Yep.
Oh, they have to. They only have 8 episodes.
Now, have you heard anything about a second season? Has there been any rumors? I know that a lot of these, mid-season things, they don't really announce it until later. But I haven't heard whether this is intended to be a one-shot or whether it's intended to continue.
I don't think they know yet.
Because if they end it with the bit from the short, if they end it directly leading into that, this could be it. And then maybe next season, instead of doing Agent Carter, they take this time to develop something else. I mean, you never know. Personally, I hope they don't. I hope they continue with Agent Carter because I think this is awesome. I really like the character. I like what's going on.
Well, I think it also, like Lil said, it depends if they end it and it just kind of quietly goes into the sunset. They say, hey, we enjoyed it. It was a big success. But if there's a big hubbub after they say, we need to resurrect this. We got a lot of press. We've got a lot of clamor. And
Clamor? What are you, 50? 50. You are 50 almost. What are you, 100?
What are you,
did that happen?
Are you 80?
When did that happen? When did we start using like benchmarks of age and we actually are starting to cross them?
Well,
what are you in your 40s? Oh, crap.
Well, we're watching an episode that takes place in 1940.
Right.
They're clamoring.
Here's the good news. None of us were born then. Yay!
Hey, they're clamoring, I tell you. Have you seen the newspaper, laddie?
What the hell?
There's things happening out there that we don't know about, see?
This is Jack doing his impression of Newsies done by the Pepperidge Farm guy.
Wait a minute, I don't even remember the Pepperidge Farm guy.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Don't you remember him?
Yeah, now I do.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think I saw that one on Nick at Night one time. It was during a Newhart rerun. Not that old Newhart, but the newer Newhart.
Oh, with the three...
because that would be an old show to a Lil.
That is an old show to me.
Well, it's an old show now, but that was on when we were in our 20s, I think.
Oh, well, that went to a screeching halt.
Yeah, it did. Let's talk about Bill Cosby now. No, let's...
Oh, man. I want some Puddin' Pops.
Wait a minute, I'm going to rescue this. So, I was shopping at Abercrombie & Fitch.
Really?
And then I picked up a shirt at Forever 21.
You know what? One of our favorite jokes around here is on Big Bang Theory when they said that, you know who Amy is, right?
Yeah, Amy Farrah.
Yeah, she walks in her outfit and they go, "Oh, did you shop at Forever 61 today?"
Yeah, I like that one.
I love that joke. You know what? I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about, or are we done?
I think we're done.
I think we're done too. A couple of business things I want to throw out there so you guys know what's going on. The Enough Said universe is kicked in. Phil and Charlie have stepped up to the plate, and the Marvel Review, that little 3 to 5 minute thing that Phil was doing each week for the comics, expanded. It's a half-hour show every week with him and Charlie.
Cool.
I just posted the first one, and it's really great. I loved it. They're doing Super Connectivity now as a regular show together, and that is a half hour. So they're trying to keep it like a half hour each one. So it's not, like just every day you got to listen to 8 hours of this garbage. Although we don't really seem to care. We'll let you listen to 8 hours of this garbage. So it seems like we've got a lot of things kind of brewing with that. We have had somebody ask to do, now get this, we know that we're going to cover Daredevil when it comes out, right?
Yeah.
No question. But we've had somebody ask if they can do a standalone Daredevil series. I'm willing to let that happen. I think that would be kind of cool to have, enough said be enough said, because we always go so far off topic, but have one show that is strictly, he's talking Daredevil. I think that's pretty cool. And if that works, maybe he can expand it to the cartoon shows or to just do the Netflix shows or something like that. So we're going to have this feed filled up pretty soon. What else did I want to say? We've got a new blog for this called True Believers, and we'll see if everybody jumps in. But every week, we've already missed up the first week, but every week, each one of us is going to write basically a Marvel-related article. And Phil kicked it off. I was supposed to be second. Yeah. Okay. I'll try and have it by Friday, which is not quite a week late. But, that blog is on our website. And all the past episodes are there, too. The website is www.southgatemediagroup.com. What else? Well, there's a lot of stuff coming. Hopefully we have a whole bunch of interviews coming our way, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. Social media, I'm at rsouthgate, and we tweet from at NuffSaidPod. Alil, what do you tweet from?
I tweet from at LOGEEKZ, and that's for the League of Geeks podcast, and that's Geeks with a Z. And
you can also find Alil and I on Live at the Blue Box, but we're about to break off one of the shows into its own feed, This Week in Geek, where we talk about all the geek news from the week. And that show's proving to be really popular, so much so that we have to break it off into its own show. But we don't tweet from that, do we? You just tweet from League of Geeks, and they can follow stuff there, right?
Right, yeah.
And Alil and I did that panel this weekend with Blair and Martha and Molly. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for that, Alil. And no thank you for the horrible coffee shop experience. It was just us talking to an empty room. The worst.
There's one guy there.
There was one kook that talked to us about 50 first dates for hours. That was nuts. Jack, why don't you give your social media?
At Jay Wengroski and at Blacklist Pod. Myself and Melissa have a show about James Spader and the Blacklist, and
a new show that's going to debut Friday.
That's right. It's a Harry Bosch series. Melissa was very excited about it. We've actually been talking to Michael Connolly, who is the author of that series, and we're very excited. It's going to come out on February 13th on Amazon Instant TV.
Which is also the day that your podcast, the Meet the Host podcast, will go up.
Oh, great. So look for us on then, and then we'll be, although all the shows on Amazon will come out at the same time, we'll be doing 1 week. Each episode will come out every week. So
okay, cool.
Check it out.
All right. Anyone else? Anyone else have anything else they want to say?
Just
Nope.
3 of us.
Well, I didn't know if like Alil was like, I want one more thing, or Jack, you have one more thing. That's it. Let's leave it at that. Listen to This Week in Geek, because we're going to break down some Spidey talk and other things. That's it, everybody. Enough said.
Enough said.